For the last 3 years, I've served as Leadership Development Director for the Delaware-Maryland Synod of the Evangelical Lutheran Church in America. And in that time, I really focused on and spent a lot of time both learning and teaching on leadership. And as that role is changing now to a more advisory role, I wanted to create a last church leader tool really summarizing what I've learned over these last 3 years. I particularly went back and looked at the church leader tools, which I've produced one almost every week. I looked over the over 60 different tools that I created myself, looked through the almost 30 interviews and teaching of other leaders. I've looked back over the articles, almost 25 of those that I've shared. And so I really wanted to summarize some of the things that I've learned about leadership. And I realized that it fits into two general categories. And the first of those is our personal leadership journey. And so I thought about the core of that journey, and that starts with our faith. It starts with our relationship with Jesus. I was reminded of some of the advice that I received at my own ordination. My home pastor reminded me that I would be a church leader, that I'd been trained by the church, that I would serve the church, but that it started with a relationship with Jesus. That we're to follow Jesus, that he's to be our center, that we're to lead like Jesus would have us to discern and use our faith to do that. And very much a part of that is our character. I've been reminded on the things that I've taught and I've worked with folks that character can destroy our leadership quicker than anything else. So at the center is that relationship with Jesus and who we are in relationship with him. And flowing from that core is our skills, is our competence, is growing, constantly growing in the skills of being a good leader. One of the church leader tools I taught along the way is leaders are learners. We're always developing and growing in the skills, people skills, and all the different skills needed to be a good leader. But then also a part of that is a sense of culture around our personal leadership, which says that we need to stay healthy because we're constantly giving, because we're constantly using our skills from the core. We need to make sure that we stay healthy in body, in mind, in soul. We need to eat healthy and sleep, take rest and balcony time. We need to have people around us to help and guide us to keep ourselves healthy. So the personal journey is the core of faith and character. Flowing from that are our skills, and then we need to make sure we stay healthy in doing that. And then the other major part of our leadership is in the church or the organization that we serve. And the core of that needs to be our mission and our purpose. Do we know, both for ourselves and for other key leaders, why we do what we do? We need to be clear about that. We need to have a clear sense of that. We need to have systems and plans and goals in order to accomplish what that purpose is. That's our core for the organization. And then in the organization, flowing from that, moving out from that, is the commitment to connect with people. Of course, that means drawing new people into the life of the congregation, evangelism and outreach and helping people to grow. It means growing leaders. One of the things we have to know is that we can't be the only leader in our context. We need to have systems for identifying and drawing in and training and empowering and delegating out to new leaders. The core needs to move out to the folks around us. We need to invest in those folks, disciple those folks, so that our organization is a leadership breeding ground. That's the moving out. And then the culture that needs to take place in the organization is a culture of adaptation. of constantly learning and growing and trying new things and learning from them and moving out. We need to learn how to lead change and help folks move through adaptation. The world is changing too rapidly that our organization can't stay stagnant. So that needs to be our culture: adaptation, adaptive leadership. Keep learning, growing. There's a church leader tool called Kaizen, which is the Japanese word for constant improvement. So we need to have that adaptation. So those are the three pieces for the organization, for the church: the mission and purpose at the core, the people, encouraging and growing them, moving out from that, and then the culture that we have of adaptation. That's how I would summarize 3 years of focused work on leadership, is those 6 key pieces. I hope they're a blessing for you, and I hope my work as Leadership Development Director has been a blessing for you. And as always, if this has been helpful, forward it on to some other leaders you know who need to grow in the basics of church leadership. Take care and God bless.